do with tax in the one working, which means I want the opening balance. If you're doing the T account, this means that your balance is on the right hand side. Now when I say I want everything to do with tax, I want the opening liability for tax, which will be a current liability, which I find in note number 2. So the opening balance is 2566. At the same time, whilst my eyes are there, the closing balance is 3722. You not only have an opening current liability, but you have an opening non-current liability. So picking up your non-current liability for deferred tax, your opening balance is 689 and your closing balance is 555. Then you look to your profit and loss, and in your profit and loss account you see a taxation charge of 2038. Humour me, humour me, humour me. There is no other comprehensive income tax. Because there could be, as we saw earlier today, humour me, humour me, humour me. On the acquisition of the sub, there is no additional tax. Humour me, humour me, humour me. The exchange difference, there is no exchange difference on the tax. So I am working out here the amount of tax that I have paid, and the amount of tax that I've paid is 2566 plus 689 plus 2038 minus 3722 minus 555, and this is 1016. So taxation paid is 1016. Back I go, back I go, back I go. Taxation paid is a cash outflow, and 1016 is the amount that I pay. Next. PPE. Next. PPE. Next. PPE. I want to gather everything to do with PPE in the one working. What's the opening balance? The opening balance on PPE is 8,900. What's the closing balance? The closing balance is 11,157. I'm trying to bridge the opening to the closing. What information do I have? Look at note number 1, depreciation. How much is the depreciation? 907, that makes the asset go down. If you're doing a T account, of course, your debit balance, your asset is a debit balance on the left-hand side. Also at note number 1, there is a reference to a disposal. And the disposal has a carrying value of 305. Anything else to do with PPE? Yes, the acquisition of the sub at note number 4, and that brings in additional PPE of 208. Anything else? Yes, note number 5, the exchange difference, the exchange gain. And the exchange gain on the retranslation of the PPE is 100, and the exchange gain will make it bigger. Now I'm looking for an impairment loss, but I can't see it. I'm looking for a new finance lease, but I can't see it. I think I'm done. 8,900 minus 907 minus 305 plus 208 plus 100 minus 11,157. This is giving me a figure here of 3161. Back I go, 3161. Back I go, 3161. Investing activities, negative figure, 3161. You have to tell me if I make a silly mistake. We need to be kept on the same page. Next up, associate. Next up, working for. Dividend received from associate. I want everything to do with the associate gathered in the same place. Opening balance of the associate. Opening balance on the associate is 280. Closing balance on the associate is 300. Why has it gone up? Yeah, P&L. How much is the income from the associate in the P&L? 30. I haven't bought an associate. I haven't sold an associate. I haven't got any thing happening other than this 30. So I should expect my closing balance to be 310. Associates only go up by the retained profit. Associates only go up by the retained profit. And although I've made a profit of 30, it's only gone up by 20. So I've received a dividend of 10 because it only goes up by the retained profit. So the dividend received from the associate is 10. See how important it is to know your pro formas because it acts as a prompt. What else? Financing activities, new loans, working 5. Financing activities, new loans, working 5. I know that at the beginning of the period it was 1682, and I know at the end of the period it's 2102. If you're doing a T account, liabilities are on the right-hand side. Surely I've just borrowed the difference. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? What's this about? I don't know why I'm doing it. Surely my liabilities have gone up, so that's all cash. Is there a story? Yes. Note number 4. I bought a sub. Oh, when you buy a sub, everything goes up. So there's an acquisition of a sub, which means you have more loans. 312. Was there an exchange difference on the loan? No. Was there a convertible loan becoming equity? No. Is there any story on loans? No. So therefore loans should be 1994. New cash, new loans, 108. New cash, new loans, 108. We're nearly finished, but we're not quite finished. I filled in all the gaps that I left. But I still haven't finished. Because there was a gap that I left, there wasn't a gap. I missed something out altogether. Now, a couple of you have pointed this out to me. So I know some of you out there do know what I'm talking about, because you whispered it to me. Yes. Yes. Now, this is something that you have to be prepared for, even if it's not immediately obvious. Goodwill is subject to an annual impairment review. I am therefore highly suspicious, and I think we would have an impairment loss on the goodwill, even if there isn't an indication that that is the case. So I would counsel you, I would encourage you to think about doing working 6 as we try and work out the impairment loss on the goodwill. Not in the sense of, I know the recoverable amount, therefore, but look at the numbers that we have. The opening balance on goodwill is 85, and the closing balance on goodwill is 500. Hang on a minute. I've lost the plot. Have faith. have faith. Goodwill's gone up. And I'm trying to work out the impairment loss. Have faith. Why has goodwill gone up? Subsidiary. I bought a new subsidiary. One reason why goodwill has gone up is because I have bought a new subsidiary. Why else has goodwill gone up? Yes, you've got an overseas sub. And as we found out when we were doing the group P&L, there is a retranslation difference not only on the net assets but on the goodwill. And how much is the group exchange difference? How much is the exchange gain on the retranslation of the goodwill? 9. Now, I could be forced to eat humble pie. This figure is 85, this figure is 9, so we're looking at 94. If it turns out that the goodwill that we've acquired is 406, then there is no impairment loss. Let's see how much goodwill was acquired when we bought the new sub. So I'm trying now to calculate the goodwill on the acquisition. When I bought the sub, Hannah, the cost of the investment was 1268. NCI? Proportion. My new goodwill is 585. My new goodwill is 585. I should be enjoying goodwill. I should be enjoying goodwill of 679. OMG. The goodwill has been impaired by 179. The goodwill has been impaired by 179. Back I go, back I go, back I go. What do I have? I have an impairment loss of 179. I have an impairment loss on the goodwill working 6 of 179.